Well, Coach, Marblehead coming up, and before we get to Marblehead, I have to ask you about second half play. Is there anything you can do to bottle that and use that second? Because the last 2 weeks, it's been the second half where Gloucester has just really shined.
Well, if you can figure it out, let me know, because we've been scratching our heads as a staff. You know, we seem to be a totally different team in the second half, and for some reason we can't get that emotion or that physical play out of our kids the first half. And we've been working at it. We've been trying different things. And these kids got to know that, especially going into this week with Marblehead, you got to play the full game. It's not something that you can come in at halftime and expect to win this game. It hurt us against Classical. We survived against Saugus. It's been going on since Beverly week. Beverly, Somerville, both comeback wins. Classical, we fell a little short. Saugus, comeback win. Can't do that against Marblehead. Got to play a full game against Marblehead.
I've seen major league pitchers who don't start pitching well till the third or fourth innings, and they've changed it around by having the pitchers warm up longer, and so obviously you can't do that with football. But Tony, last 2 weeks, what are the positives you bring from the last 2 weeks with your team?
I think it is the perseverance, right? They never quit. They get down, they get behind. I'll tell you, going in at halftime last week, we gathered all the guys together, and they all believed they could come back and win that game, and I think they've shown that they can do that. They've done that the last couple of weeks. Even with Classical, we came back. It ended up being a 2-point game at the end of the day. When you're down 21-0 at halftime, that's a long way to go to get back. I think we just ran out of time against them, and they're a great football team. It's just the mentality of, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep fighting, and we're not going to panic, and we're just going to be even keeled, and we're just going to keep doing what we do. We're going to make adjustments, and we're going to keep playing football. And I think that's a great attribute to have for a football team.
You've got to have some leaders and some character on the team, because in the Lynn Classical game in particular, we were saying Gloucester's got no chance. I mean, you're down 21-0, and they were just pushing. But Gloucester came back in the second half and just played so well, so strong, and never once felt it looked like that they were couldn't win the game.
Well, I think that happened. I think part of this is we have a young team. We have a lot of juniors playing for us, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And I think it's just getting them, realizing what the speed of the game is going to be, and getting them accustomed, and getting them to understand what their assignments are and how they change in the course of a game. I think that's what happened with Classical. We couldn't move the ball offensively the whole first half. They shut us down, and then all of a sudden we made some adjustments. We talked to the line, and we kind of made some changes. And next thing you know, we have 5 or 6 plays that we can run pretty consistently. And I think we held on to the ball the second half. And the best defense is keeping the offense on the field. Coaching him always used to say. So I think we accomplished that in the second half against Classical. I think we did the same thing against Saugus last week. It's just it's getting that mentality right that, hey, just because they're stopping you this play doesn't mean they have to stop you the next play. If you can make the adjustments, if you can be the smarter football player, and you can and find what works, it takes us a little time sometimes. And I think that's what we did against those last 2 games is we found what worked and we stuck with it.
Needless to say, you can't put yourselves in a hole against Marblehead. And the 2 things I've noticed against Marblehead is, first of all, they're an all-around team, offense and defense, with big number 87, running the offense. But the other thing I've noticed about them, Coach, is they're so good at getting field position.
Yeah, they put a lot of pressure on you. I was watching the Beverly film, them versus Beverly, and Beverly was right with them the whole game. But they chip away. Marblehead gets a score here, and then they stop you there, and then you stop them, and then they score again, and before you know it, it's 21-0. And you get panicked, and you feel like you have to go for it on 4th downs, and you feel like you have to make something happen. And that's where Marblehead gets you. When you get panicked and you force yourself to do things you're not used to doing, that's where Marblehead takes advantage of you. Their special teams are great. They put great pressure on you on their punt return team. Their kickoffs are great. They're a great all-around team. He's got a lot of kids over there, and a lot of kids playing football for him, and he's got a good program, great program, and it showed the last several years. He's rolling, and I think this year's team's a little bit different from last year's team. I think the quarterback's a great runner. I think they have 3 or 4 other running backs they put in the backfield with them. They really do things. The things that they do, they really do well. They may not be this wide open spread team they have been in the past. But you really have to be disciplined to stop them, because they really will take advantage of every mistake you make. They will capitalize on, and that's kind of been their motto all along here.
Yeah, they don't hurt themselves very often, that's for sure.
no.
Coach, final question, going through Salem during October to play at Marblehead.
Just talking to my wife about this today.
Okay.
She was asking what time we were leaving because she wanted to know what time she should leave.
At 2 o'clock maybe, for a 7 o'clock game?
I don't know. Salem's, it's still what, October 11th? I think we'll be okay. We try not to worry about those things. We got enough stuff to worry
All right,
about.
but playing at Piper Field is always difficult.
Absolutely. It seems to be it seems very enclosed. You know, when you're there, you feel like you're in this enclosure where, you know, the school's on one side, they have a great fan base, you know, they taunt you in the field, out the field, you know, they taunt you everywhere you go over there. They really got an atmosphere that, you know, is one of a kind over there, and it's a fun place to play, but it's a tough place to play.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thank you.